Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to introduce our topic, Robert Greene, Unpacking Power, Seduction, and Mastery. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore Greene's insights into the hidden forces that shape human behavior. We'll look at his ideas on power, seduction, mastery, and human nature, revealing both the light and dark sides of our psyche. This isn't just self-help, it's a mirror that encourages us to confront our strengths and our vulnerabilities. Let's dive in and discover what makes us tick. Welcome to our second slide, where I want to share my thoughts on power and seduction. First, let's address a common misconception. Great seducers aren't necessarily good-looking. Many believe that physical attractiveness is the key to seduction, but history shows otherwise. Influential figures, whether political leaders, artists, or lovers, often succeeded because of qualities beyond appearance. Charisma, attentiveness, vulnerability, and the ability to connect emotionally are actually far more powerful than just looks. Next, I want to introduce Robert Greene, who is not just an author but a strategist of human behavior. He's written 6 international bestsellers, with the 48 Laws of Power alone selling over 2 million copies in the US. His insights have influenced popular culture. Hip-hop icons like Jay-Z, Kanye West, 50 Cent, and Drake have cited him. His books serve as manuals for navigating influence and survival, not just in business or politics, but in life. So why did I choose to write about seduction? For Greene, seduction is a form of power, subtle, psychological, and deeply human. People often influence others without even realizing it. Unlike digital dating apps, seduction relies on ritual, body language, and presence. Nonverbal cues, like eye contact, gestures, and posture, often reveal more than words ever could. Understanding this language makes us more persuasive, attractive, and effective in both love and our careers. Lastly, I want to touch on building genuine confidence. Greene's philosophy isn't just theoretical, it's personal. In 2018, he suffered a near-fatal stroke that left him paralyzed on one side. That experience taught him how fragile life is and the importance of gratitude. Confidence, he argues, isn't arrogance. It's about appreciating what you can do and not taking your abilities for granted. Slide 3 focuses on how gratitude and growth are deeply connected to community and life. I want to start by emphasizing the importance Greene places on his audience. He credits his community for the growth of his platform, recognizing that the real strength of his work flows from dialogue and mutual support. For him, gratitude isn't a sign of weakness. Rather, it's a grounding force that keeps him connected and humble. Next, let's look at Greene's early life. He grew up in Baldwin Hills, Los Angeles, in a middle-class family. His father was a chemical salesman, and Greene himself was quite introverted, independent, and deeply immersed in books. During high school, he experimented with drugs, but he also developed an intense curiosity about masks, personas, and the psychology behind human behavior. These early experiences hint at his lifelong interest in understanding power dynamics. Moving into his career before he wrote the 48 Laws of Power, Greene had a variety of eclectic jobs, working in construction, detective work, as a tour guide, and even teaching in Spain. Each of these experiences exposed him to different environments and personalities, shaping his insights into social dynamics and power. His breakthrough happened in Italy, where a chance encounter with a Dutch book packager led to the creation of his most famous work. Speaking of which, the 48 Laws of Power became a global phenomenon, selling millions of copies. It influenced leaders, celebrities, and entrepreneurs worldwide. While some see it as controversial because of its dark approach, Greene insists it reflects timeless truths about human nature. He emphasizes that power itself is not inherently evil, it's simply a part of our social reality. Finally, Greene reflects on society and the nature of power. He believes that true power is internal, not external. It's about self-control, awareness, and the ability to navigate social situations skillfully. He argues that being powerless is more corrupting than having power because it breeds resentment, envy, and manipulation. So, in essence, understanding and mastering power starts from within. Let's explore some insights on human nature and morality. First, consider the strategic figures like Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. We often see them as icons or ideals, but Greene emphasizes their strategic brilliance. They skillfully used timing, framing, and sometimes even controlled deception to push their causes forward. So, strategy and morality are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they often go hand in hand. Next, Greene talks about the universality of shadows. Everyone harbors dark traits, things like narcissism, envy, or aggression. Denying these traits can be dangerous because they're part of human nature. Instead, we should acknowledge them, understand them, and find ways to redirect them, perhaps into creativity, empathy, or protective strength. Then there's the idea of confronting the shadow self. True mastery begins with self-awareness. When we recognize our irrational tendencies and flaws, we gain power over them. And once we integrate our shadow, it can become a source of resilience rather than a cause of sabotage. Greene also challenges the notion that morality is about being perfect or saintly. Even revered figures in history had flaws. Evolution has equipped us with manipulative tendencies simply for survival. So, instead of viewing morality as an ideal state, we should see it as a balancing act, managing both our light and shadow. Finally, on the balance of traits, like narcissism. It's natural in childhood, but maturity involves transforming that self-focus into empathy and love. No trait is inherently bad. What matters is how we channel it. It's all about turning potential vulnerabilities into strengths. Now, let's explore how childhood plays a crucial role in shaping our sense of power. Our early attachment experiences and the environment we're raised in have a lasting impact on our adult character. For example, a secure and loving upbringing can foster resilience, giving us the strength to face challenges. On the other hand, hardship and adversity during childhood often help develop qualities like strength and charisma. Think about figures like Marilyn Monroe or John F. Kennedy. They both overcame difficult childhoods and managed to turn their wounds into sources of magnetism and influence. This really ties into our overall theme that the roots of power often lie in our early experiences, shaping the way we lead and inspire others later in life. Let's talk about the art and science of seduction. Greene argues that seduction isn't about force or domination. It's actually the highest form of power through influence and delight. Great seducers are very attentive and outward directed. They mirror the spirit of others and create deep emotional resonance. This means they validate and connect with people on a genuine level. In contrast, anti-seducers tend to be preachy, moralizing, insecure, or stingy with attention. They push people away rather than draw them in. Now, an important point is vulnerability. When it's genuine, vulnerability can be incredibly seductive because it shows openness and humanity without slipping into neediness. Body language plays a crucial role here. It's the most reliable signal of truth. Milton Erickson, a therapist who was paralyzed in his youth, mastered influence by observing microexpressions and subtle cues. That's a powerful reminder that nonverbal communication often reveals what's truly going on beneath the surface. Finally, Greene emphasizes that in modern dating and social life, effort, attentiveness, and presence matter far more than wealth or superficial charm. Authenticity and genuine engagement are what truly create connection and influence. Now, let's turn our attention to Greene's later book, Mastery. This work really underscores his concern with going deep rather than chasing superficial success. In today's world, there's often an obsession with shortcuts and quick wins, but Greene emphasizes that true mastery comes from dedicated apprenticeship, repetition, and consistent practice. It's through effort and doing that our neural pathways actually strengthen, making skills more ingrained and natural. This isn't just about theory or knowing something intellectually. It's about building genuine confidence. And that confidence, or self-esteem, is rooted in competence, not just validation from others. So mastery isn't just a skill. It's a mindset that aligns perfectly with the overall idea that sustained success comes from deep engagement and persistent effort. When we talk about finding your life task and passion, Greene challenges the common idea of just finding your passion, as if it's something that strikes you suddenly. Instead, he emphasizes discovering your life task, which is more about aligning with your natural inclinations that have been with you since childhood. Passion, in his view, isn't a lightning bolt that hits you out of nowhere. It's something that you cultivate over time, through years of practice, a love for your craft, and the resilience to push through boredom and setbacks. Think about your natural inclinations as the seeds you plant early on. These seeds come from your childhood interests, things that genuinely spark your curiosity. Over the years, through deliberate repetition and growth, you develop skills and deepen your engagement. Love for the craft is about steady commitment, showing up and dedicating yourself consistently. And resilience is critical because setbacks and failures are inevitable. But each failure becomes a learning opportunity, helping you refine your path and strengthen your resolve. Ultimately, Greene's message is that passion isn't something you find overnight. It's something you build and nurture, aligning your natural tendencies with persistent effort and resilience. That's how you discover your true life task. Now, let's focus on the apprenticeship phase, which is a crucial part of early career development. During this time, the emphasis should be on learning rather than earning. It's about laying a strong foundation. Real growth comes from taking on responsibility, observing how things are done, and repeating practices to reinforce skills. When you absorb the right skills, codes, and behaviors, you're essentially wiring your brain for long-term mastery. This phase isn't just about immediate tasks. It's about building the habits and knowledge that will serve you throughout your career. Remember, the goal here is to develop a deep understanding that will enable you to excel in the future. Now, let's talk about some practical career advice that Greene offers to young professionals. First, he emphasizes the importance of seeking environments that are rich in learning opportunities, rather than just focusing on high pay. This is crucial because the real growth happens when you're constantly absorbing new knowledge and skills. Next, he encourages us to embrace mistakes as an essential part of growth. Instead of fearing errors, see them as valuable lessons that push you forward. Remember, every mistake is a stepping stone toward mastery. He also highlights the need to observe social and technical dynamics with precision. This means paying close attention to what's happening around you, understanding the underlying forces at play, and adapting accordingly. Finally, Greene stresses the importance of commitment to action. Skills are learned by doing, not just by thinking or planning. You have to put yourself out there, take initiative, and learn through experience. Connecting all these points back to the overall theme, it's about being proactive, open-minded, and resilient. These qualities will help you navigate your career path effectively and continuously improve along the way.